And is this something that was on your radar that, like, when you grew up, you're like, I'm going to be mayor of a 500-year-old city, or is this, how did you find yourself in this position?
Well, I'm one of 6 kids, and so my siblings would probably describe me as the bossiest of all of us, but I never thought that I would be in elective office. My parents were always involved in our community. We moved around growing up. My dad was transferred a few times in his job, but anytime we landed in a new city, my parents got involved in the schools, in our neighborhood. And so that was the behavior that they modeled for me. And so when I moved to Albany for a job back many, many, many years ago. And after I graduated from college in Ohio and I found myself here, I did the same thing that my parents had done. I got involved and I stayed involved. I would volunteer quite a bit. After our son was born, we got involved in the schools. I was the commissioner for his Pop Warner football team. We worked as volunteers for Albany Youth Soccer. And so I had this private sector career that ended after the company that I worked for was gobbled up by another big company. And I thought that new big company was too bureaucratic, so I just couldn't handle it. Kind of ironic.
Right. I was like, so you're like, yeah, it's too bureaucratic. Let me run a city.
But some people came to me and they said, hey, we'd really like for you to run for controller. It's called treasurer here, but for controller of the city of Albany. We had some issues. There was a scandal. And I was convinced. I said no at first, but ultimately I said, hey, I could continue to complain about what I don't like, or I could actually do something about it. And so that was what got me started. And after I became city treasurer, it became pretty clear to me that the mayor, who had been mayor for 20 years, probably wasn't going to run again. And so I decided to explore a run for mayor. And I talked to a lot of people. I asked people to invite me over to their living rooms with their neighbors and their friends so that we could talk about the city and what they liked about it and what they were looking for in their next mayor. And then ultimately, I decided to run. So that's how I ended up here.